The news came in early March 2025, and it was not good. For the first time since record-keeping began, daily average carbon dioxide levels had topped 430 parts per million at the Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii. Just a few years ago, passing 400 parts per million seemed significant. Now we find ourselves in a new, more dangerous era. The annual jump in CO2 levels was the highest ever recorded. From 2023 to 2024, concentrations rose by 3.58 parts per million. To put that in perspective, the average annual increase over the past decade was around 2.5 parts per million. This acceleration is deeply troubling. It tells us that we are not just failing to slow down climate change, we are making it worse, faster, and the consequences are already being felt around the world. The primary culprit in this ongoing crisis is, of course, the burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas. These are the substances that built the modern world, and they are also the substances that are now dismantling it. In 2024, global fossil fuel emissions reached a new record of 41.6 billion tons. This represents a staggering increase of nearly 1 billion tons from the previous year. It is a clear indication that our addiction to fossil fuels is stronger than ever. But fossil fuels are not the only source of carbon dioxide. Wildfires, fueled by drought and rising temperatures, are also releasing massive amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere. In 2023 alone, wildfires emitted an estimated 7.3 billion tons of CO2, a number that is only expected to grow in the years to come. The impacts of rising CO2 levels are already being felt around the world. 2024 was the hottest year on record, exceeding the critical threshold of 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming above pre-industrial levels. Extreme weather events, once rare, are now becoming commonplace. Heat waves are longer and more intense. Droughts are more severe and widespread. Wildfires are burning hotter and longer, releasing even more CO2 into the atmosphere. The human cost of these changes is also growing. In India alone, extreme weather events claimed the lives of at least 3,200 people in 2024. And as temperatures continue to rise, these numbers are only expected to increase. The melting of glaciers and ice sheets is another alarming consequence of rising CO2 levels. As these giant reservoirs of ice melt, they are adding to sea level rise, threatening coastal communities around the world. The situation is dire, but it is not hopeless. We still have time to avert the worst effects of climate change, but only if we act now. We need to rapidly transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewable sources of energy, such as solar and wind power. We need to invest in energy efficiency and conservation measures, and we need to protect and restore our forests, which act as natural carbon sinks. The Paris Agreement, signed in 2015, provides a framework for global action on climate change. But current commitments are not enough to meet the agreement's goal of limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably 1.5 degrees. The time for incremental change is over. We need bold, transformative action on a global scale. We need to act now before it is too late. The future of our planet depends on it.